Salutations! I'm launching a brand new series to the channel. It's essentially a Halo Custom Edition Map Showcase's sister series, which I'll appropriately title the Halo Mod Showcase. Since I have access to a modded Xbox 360, which I originally acquired solely for playing Halo betas, I eventually felt that using this thing only for playing betas was a waste, as there's plenty of cool and interesting modded content out there waiting to be explored. Before I get started with our pilot episode, I need to put an important disclaimer that needs to be said. I will only be covering offline console mods. There's a difference between using a modded Xbox to alter a video game offline and using cheats online over Xbox Live to be a complete and total asshole, such as running around with God mode turned on during matchmaking games or shooting people with an automatic rocket launcher. To me and the rest of the legitimate modding community, that's not what modding truly is about, and is a horrible, despicable way to ruin a gaming experience for those who just want to play a perfectly good game such as Halo. Moral of this disclaimer is, just don't cheat on Xbox Live, and don't expect me to cheat on Xbox Live either, because I never will. Anyways, on to our pilot episode of the Halo Mod Showcase. Recently, 343 has announced the infamous return of the Flood in Halo Wars 2, and with this faction's return comes a new firefight mode that has players hold out against the parasitic infestation for as long as possible. This correlates to our pilot episode because the theme for today is zombies, and our first mod takes us to Halo 3 ODST's firefight mode to take on the Flood. This mod was created by Lord Zed, and I encourage everyone to subscribe to his channel and follow him on Twitter. This mod takes place on two levels, Crater Night and Rally Night, and has the player, you guessed it, fight against the Flood for as long as humanly possible. Both of the maps included in the mod were altered to have a much more horrific and scary atmosphere to them, and almost looks as if it takes place during the Floodgate mission from Halo 3. Sometimes I like to play without turning the visor mode on, as it looks quite creepy with the natural lighting, which helps with immersion. That's not to say visor mode hurts this experience in any way, as seeing the Flood form surrounded by the visor mode's enemy tag is pretty intimidating. This mod also gives you the chance to switch between first person and third person in game, which I feel is a pretty cool addition. It's awesome to actually see Sergeant Johnson destroy the Flood. Badass unlocked. Each of Halo 3's Flood forms were successfully imported to ODST and behave exactly as they did in standard Halo 3. However, the sound files for the Flood didn't make it in. While that sounds like a bit of a bummer, pun intended, it actually works to this mod's advantage because Flood can easily sneak up from behind you and take you by surprise. Something as bulky as a tank pure form can be pretty stealthy when you're not paying attention. Because of this, it's advised to always watch your back to see if Flood are trying to flank you. Besides the graphical changes, each of the two maps received other additions, such as various corpses that litter the battlefield waiting to be taken over by infection forms, as well as various power weapons and even the flamethrower, which was previously not available in ODST's firefight mode. 3 new Flood forms also make an appearance in the mod. First is the Flood Engineer, which is basically an airborne carrier form. It behaves exactly like a standard engineer and gives its Flood allies basic shielding. When it is killed, it shoots out banger infection forms, which are variants of the infection form that end up being cut from Halo 3. When shot, they explode like a plasma grenade. Since the player is an ODST and not a Spartan, it's possible for a deceased character to be taken over by an infection form, turning your corpse into the third new Flood form, the ODST form. When you die and your corpse is taken over by an infection form, the resulting ODST form is essentially a human Flood form but with much more health than normal, and unlike the other forms, they can't be meleeed. Dying in this mod is actually quite punishing due to this and only adds on to the helpless situation that the player is in. If you manage to down the ODST form and allow it to be reanimated by another infection form, it acquires a shotgun. Our next mod takes us to Halo Reach. This is Downfall by JJIJR, who also has a YouTube channel and makes fantastic mods. Subscribe to him for me, will ya? This is a third-person only mod where your character is a civilian on a modified version of the Overlook Firefight map, and the enemies are custom-made zombies. It has its own game type as well as modified weapons to use against the undead. The fact the player character is a civilian sells this mod for me. You're that much more vulnerable to the zombies when you're not as fast, strong, or as nimble as the Spartan 3. Sprinting is much slower than normal. The speed itself is a bit nerve-wracking as the zombies run just as fast as you sprint, which won't leave you a lot of reaction time when attempting to engage the undead or reload a weapon. Jump height is also drastically reduced, meaning that areas that once allowed for a shortcut thanks to a quick jump are now dead ends. Zombies have the ability to kill you in one hit as well, and dying in this game can potentially cause jump scares when they successfully flank you. It's best to keep your eyes and ears open and watch your surroundings. Each progressing wave will spawn more zombies, making progression more and more difficult. The atmosphere of the level is, like the ODST Flood mod, terrifying and horrific with the brightness, fog, and skybox modified to be much darker and more suited for a horror game. Luckily, each player has access to a flashlight that's always turned on, and watching it move frantically with their weapon as they're sprinting adds to the immersion. Speaking of weapons, each weapon in this mod has been altered. Nearly all the weapons included were given wooden handguards and stocks to make them look more old tech. The pistol behaves the same as its main counterpart but is suppressed. The DMR, now called the Assault Carbine, is fully automatic and has a 32-round magazine. Due to a lack of zoom thanks to this mod being in third person, the sniper rifle, while performing the same as the main Reach variant, has an extended magazine of 8 rounds to give the player a larger margin of error. The shotgun acts like a double-barreled pump-action shotgun, shooting 2 shells with each trigger pull. 2 special support weapons are hidden somewhere on the map. The light machine gun is excellent at consistently mowing down large groups of enemies, while a Thunderslinger has the ability to take down multiple zombies in one shot. Since they're treated like support weapons such as the detachable turrets in the main game, attempting to sprint with these weapons will force you to drop them, which balances these powerful tools of destruction. Also, there's only one on each map at a time, which means it's best to use them during the end of the round. The big downside to this mod is due to the fact that the AI are pretty stupid. Setting on a rock, vehicle, or any sort of platform that gives the player verticality will often result in the zombie standing around doing nothing. It's best to avoid these areas if you want to make the most out of this very well made mod. And that's it for our very first episode of Halo Mod Showcase. Don't worry, there will be more custom edition map showcases in the future that will coexist with this series. If you have a modded Xbox yourself, I urge you to try these mods out as well as other mods that will showcase in the future. Links to the mods will be in the description, and make sure to subscribe to the authors as well, as links to their channels will also be in the description. If, and only if, you enjoyed what you saw today, hit the like button and subscribe for more Halo content on this channel. If you want me to cover specific mods that you'd like to see, let me know either in the comments, on my Twitter page, or on my Discord channel. The rest of the video will be raw gameplay of each of the covered mods. This is the Vengeful Vadim, and I'll see you on the great journey.
Killing spree.
Grenade! For the chief, wherever they are.
Double kill.
Tango down!
Double kill.
Low on ammo. Tossing a frag.
Triple kill.